Hello, everyone, and welcome to this podcast series organized by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in this GCC Summit, which is happening at Gandhinagar, Gujarat. And we have with us Nitin Jain, who is the CEO and Executive Officer of Welspun GCC. Welcome, Nitin Ji, to this podcast series organized by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. कैसा लग रहा है आपको being a chartered accountant looking into institute organizing GCC Summit? What is your first impression on this entire?
No, first of all, thank you very much to have me here. I'm feeling really great because, like, I'm here in Ahmedabad from last 3 years. By the way, I belongs to a small town, Meerut, and although post chartered accountancy, I'm in Delhi NCR, and then now recently I moved. I permanently moved to Ahmedabad, and I think this is one kind of session what I'm attending from last 2 days. And the good part is that now, considering the GCC growth in India, ICAI is also thinking in that direction. That we don't need only the functional people; we need the techno-functional people.
Yes.
And
yes.
We are investing a lot and on the GCCs. I'm feeling really great to have
Great.
to have me here.
Great, Nitinji. I think we just had a very preliminary discussion before we started this podcast,
Yeah.
and look at a chartered accountant who is actually into GCC consulting, who is a promoter, director, and working into so many things. So we want to know more of your experience on this entire GCC ecosystem before we get into a little more technical. How and what are you contributing towards the GCC, and what is your message to our fellow chartered accountants of how they can come forward and be a part of this entire GCC ecosystem?
So, although GCC concept is not new, although it is known with a different names. Somewhere
Right.
the first GCC came somewhere in 1990 when Bank of America started their journey. That time it was we called it as a shared services, and then now some people in the US they are calling this as a GBS.
Right.
Some people are calling this GCC.
In fact, GIC is also there.
Yeah. So the idea is, the chartered accountants, they can play the very important role in the GCC journey, especially because the first thing which can be moved into the GCC vertical is the finance and accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Bible is written by the ICAI on this
Right.
finance and accounts.
Right.
And we are the caretaker of that Bible, the chartered accountants. Um, I think the message is very clear that today, in today's scenario, when the world is moving very fast, GCC growth is really very good, especially in India. I think somewhere in year 2030, the two-third of the GCC is going to be in India. So we need talent, we need people,
Right.
and chartered accountants can fill that gap.
Because they have both the domain and the functional knowledge.
Absolutely, absolutely. They are really good into the governance. They are really good into the compliance. They are very disciplined rather, and we need actually the disciplined people.
Disciplined financial soldier.
Absolutely, and and of course, so what I feel that these people can fill that gap. My message to all my fellow members will be that. The focus on the think beyond maybe the accounting now, think beyond the if you are getting the degree, it's not the finishing line. I think we should consider that it's a starting line, and whatever we are making, whether it's process, technology, people, the thing, something innovative, have customer in your mind. Whatever you are doing, whatever the process, technology, product, services you are building, have the customer centricity in your mind.
Right.
So that is something which is a message which I would like to give to my fellow members.
So you just started with coming from Meerut and you settling in Ahmedabad in Gujarat, the dream destination of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And let's understand what has Gift City offering as a gift. I'm using this word gift to our fellow chartered accountants in this entire system. There's so many excitement. Like I can just share you some insights wherein when we are doing this GCC summit, we didn't had much space. We had only 500 capacity, and we had requests from more than 2,000 members who wanted to attend this. So what is in store for them, and what is that which IFCA and Gift City has to offer to our fellow members? And with your experience, what do you want to say on this?
Yeah. So first, because you touched this Meerut part, so I would just like to maybe say something on this. I belong to a family which was very humble. We were not having even the two times meal. I cleared my CA by reading actually under the street lights.
Wow.
And what I feel personally that where I am today, within 20 years, the ICAI played a very very important role in my entire career, because they taught me to see the bigger picture through data. They they taught me how to be disciplined,
Wow.
how we can work in the limited resources, and so that is something. First, maybe to before giving the answers, that how this gift city can help.
Oh yeah, this is very motivating for many of our viewers.
Because I'm correlating the things, like if you are saying that when you started this gift city journey, you were just 500. So I think the important part is of course, the government, the focus from the government is also there.
Right,
Government is giving lots of incentives. When we opened the first ITS center in Ahmedabad, one of the major reasons that why we opened the center in Ahmedabad, the Welspun GCC center in Ahmedabad, which was inaugurated by Gautam Adani. It was just because of that incentives part, because huge good incentives, whether it's capex, whether it's opex. The focus is there on the learning and the development. The focus is there on the technology. So I'm sure we have a very good, fantastic policy here in the gift city. If somebody is opening their GCC, the people are going to get the benefits. And as I told in the beginnings, that the chartered accountants can fill that gap, because my chairman, Mr. BK Goenka, he always tell that he's focusing only on the two T's, and these two T's are the technology and the talent. And but I feel still somewhere that there is a gap between the requirement and the availability, and these chartered accountants can fill that gaps. In my office, we have 70 to 80 chartered accountants, okay, who are managing the entire taxations, the GST, the GL part. We are running my center in Ahmedabad. In Vapi itself, we have maybe 30 to 40 chartered accountants. Then we have offices in Mumbai. So of course, the chartered accountants are playing the very very important role in filling this gap.
Now, this is a very, very positive statement. If you see that a person coming from Meerut and having such a humble, journey of life, which can be very motivating for many of us as chartered accountants, starting, the education from a street light to getting into a GCC space, and making everyone proud, is something which we can see and live upon to say, if he can do it, why can't we? So I think one more question to understand, when we have the ministries together, when we have so many people coming around from all corners, what are those different services which your company or your organization are providing, which can be a guide to them, that these are possible 5 or 10 areas which they can specialize upon, they can work upon, and they can start pondering upon, so that they can also have a very good beginning of their journey of life.
So, when we started our journey as a GCC, as I told, the first area which comes in mind is the finance and accounts. And people generally think, maybe of course that was the traditional thought, that why the people are opening the GCC to have the cost arbitrage benefits.
Right.
However, the difference between the shared services and the GCC is that
the talent arbitrage.
Yeah, in the shared services, it was the focus was on the cost, the focus was on the scale, the focus was on the productivity benefits. However, in the GCC, the focus is on the innovation, the focus is on the research and the development, the focus is on the talent part. So in our case, in the Welspun GCC, when we started, it was just the finance and accounts. Today, we are giving 17 different services to our group companies, which includes procurement, entire hire to retire. We are managing the merchandising functions, the master data management. And now we are opening the innovation hub within my GCC, that how we can improve the efficiency of the shop floor. How we can improve the efficiency of the machine, which we called as an Industry 4.0. If we can provide some AI solution, which can give the huge EBITDA gain to my business, so that is something which will become, I think that is the future of the GCC, that till now our focus was on to become the back office. I think in future the focus is to become the backbone for the business.
So when we look at our tier 2, tier 3 cities, and we say that, well, chartered accountants are for, the regular compliance functions, the audit functions, and they have those very good dominant knowledge on that. Look at a person who is a chartered accountant is talking about all the value-based services for the international clients. Now that brings a big shift, a shift of mindset, a shift of acquiring those skills, traveling across the world and into the country, and definitely come to Ahmedabad, Gift City, to see how things are transforming and changing in so much fast-paced manner. Innovation is the key. What do you say to our members in terms of innovation when we talk about transformation, the mindset? How can they take that first step? Because I think that is the most important question before we conclude, is what is that first step? Because just when we say that GCC is for tier 2 and tier 3, but then we know that we need a talent. There's a huge gap between what we need and what we have. And then we are also looking forward to see tier 2 and tier 3 growing in the GCC ecospace. How will that gap be built up, and how these members get motivated or inspired to take that first step?
So, recently I was moving from Ahmedabad to Vapi, and there was a journey of the train, and then I got 5 hours. So what I was doing, that I was just refreshing my memory of last 23 years. And then I written 23 rules of my life,
wow.
what I learned. I think the first rule, before maybe again,
I want to know all those 23 rules.
Yes,
maybe not in this podcast.
Maybe you can share the link
yes.
of that 23 rules in your podcast link,
sure.
and which went viral, by the way, close to more than 1 lakh views we already got on that. Nice. I think the first rule, again, before giving the answer on this innovations, what I personally feel, the pehla sukh is nirogi kaya.
Stay healthy.
Whosoever we are, wheresoever we are, I think the first focus should be on the health. Because if the health is there, then you can think, then you can be more productive and something like that. And do not quote me wrong that when I'm saying the health, I'm not talking about the work-life balance. I'm talking about that there should be some me time for you. Because many a times it happens that when we people become the chartered accountant, we think, okay, we are the controller, we can manage the balance sheet, we can manage the P&L, something like that. The reality is little different. We have to be business partner, and we need to think little innovative.
And that entrepreneurial mindset.
Absolutely. So as a KPI of this. Of the CEO, there are only 3 KPIs which I focus. I call it as a 3 C's, which is, the first C is the customer, the second C is the culture, and the third C is the cost.
Wow.
So if, and regardless of your level, regardless of your role, the people think that you are the CEO of these organizations, even if you are the executive level, even if you are the fresher. The moment you will have that kind of ownership, even the moment you will have that kind of entrepreneurship mindset, believe me, because there are 5% people who are getting 95%, there are 95% people who are getting 5%. The choice is with us, whether we want to become that 5% who are getting 95, or we want to be in the list of 95 who are getting 5. So I chosen the first one, that I want to become that 5%. In the 5% who are getting this 95%, and that is the reason I'm here.
Wow! So that sounds like differentiating yourself from others, and taking that extra mile, taking that extra step, taking that extra push inside us. And when we are healthy, we are strong. We have a very strong mindset, a very strong culture, and a strong commitment. We are definitely going to drive this. So thank you so much.
So maybe at the end, we need to invest on ourselves. It's like a learning is a continuous process.
Right.
So we should not ever think that we have reached at that level, so my learning process is closed. No, what I really want that even on the last day of my on this earth, I should learn something new. So that is
Wow.
something
So
which is
always
my
be in a
mantra.
beta mode.
Absolutely.
So that is so exciting, and we are going to do this summit in other parts of the country,
Sure.
and we are talking to the ministries, and we are trying to work on this GCC maturity model into the draft GCC model for the state ministries, and we look forward for your contribution
Absolutely.
in this entire journey of GCC with ICI. So thank you, Nitin ji, for being with us. It was
Thank
a
you very much.
wonderful and insightful discussion, and we look forward to
The
interacting
pleasure
with
is
you.
mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.